Welcome back, guys. You're tuned in, of course, to MX24 TV. This is MX Live. I'm your host, JASON El-A. And I say from time to time, because I don't want to drum it too much, I have the best job in the world because I talk to the most beautiful ladies ever. Now, to the guys, don't worry, I'm a guy, so yeah, I see you guys all the time. But to talk to such a wonderful lady like the one in front of me is an experience that I crave and enjoy. Hello, and
hello, Jason.
First of all, very happy you're here. Not too happy that I haven't seen you in a while.
I know, right?
What's going on? What's happening? What have you been up to? Because you're looking fly.
Thank you. I'm looking fly too.
No. Like,
wait, like.
I was asking you off air what you've been eating, because this is.
Banku.
Just that?
Like all of you know the secret, banku.
I need to eat some more then.
Do you eat banku?
Yeah, I do. I eat everything.
You love banku.
Kenke, fufu, of course.
Then eat more of that. Like,
more of that. That's where the glaze from. Welcome. I'm very happy you're here. You're looking lovely as always. There's a lot to get into because you've dropped music for the first time this year.
Yes.
Haven't dropped for a while. We're going to get into all of that. But rightly so, away from the music, what has Enam been up to? Because, the fans, right? They do want to know, apart from, the creative aspect of the artists we talk to.
Yeah. So, like, I've been up to personal life, actually putting my stuff together. Life is more. There is more life after social media, after music and everything. We are normal human beings. It gets to, like, stages where you just know that you just need to put things right and all. So I've been up to a lot. I've been writing and I've been doing my hosting job, of which I had the last one a few years ago, and that is when that is what actually started my rebranding, and the supernatural experience that I had, which actually led me to going on that long break. And having to come back again. And this time is rolling and we are going.
Okay, so before those experiences, is it difficult for you to make fans understand and accept the fact that you've been away? Because I always say a fan is going to be a fan. They want the music. Right. And as much as social media has drawn us close to the people who look up to us, they still want to see more of you. So when like Enam takes a break for a year, right? It might be, again, for financial, personal, supernatural reasons, which we're going to get into. The fan is like, I still want the music. How do you explain, or how do you make your fans understand that? Okay,
so with music, in Ghana, like, we don't normally get a lot of support. Talk of financially and, the people that are there to work with the music. Because when you go to other places, they have a whole lot of other workers. It's not only about the money, but we have certain people who have certain connections and links that can link you up. But when it comes to Ghana, it's limited. And the people that are around, they tend to only, move with the people that are already making the numbers and all of that. So when you say they tell you it's the numbers that sell, it's not even talent or anything. So when you're like that and you just have to handle everything alone, when it gets to those moments where you have to handle other things, it becomes difficult to handle all the things at once. So it means that you would just have to put some on probation, not like on hold. You'll still be working on it, but since you don't have like the means to take it out there at that moment because you'll be so busy with other things, you just have to wait, because music is a full-time thing. You can't say you are doing it part-time, you are juggling it with other stuff, unless you have a running team that is with you and is doing stuff for you like that. So that is how it happened. But, I was just staying true, because I didn't just leave my fans. I actually worked on an EP of 6 songs. So when I dropped it, I was like, okay, it's about time. That was when the supernatural experience happened. So I just had to go back and work. And even with that, it was still with music. But then I just had to take my time, because I realized that I was taking a different route, and then I had to be redirected by my ancestors, like as it goes. So I just had to, take a break and then see where I was going to turn and how I was going to.
So a little bit before that too, based on what you said, like generically, do you think fans and media, right, should take a bit easy on the artists, the Ghanaian artists? Because I speak to so many artists and creatives, not even just the musicians, right? The actors, now the dancers. Today I was talking to my team about skit makers, right? And what goes into skit making. And these constant conversations of finances are not easy, right? Putting things together are not easy. A lot of artists in Ghana are independent artists, but we want to see the artists travel. We want to see them wear something different every week. We want to see photo shoots every 2 days. We want to see them featuring the biggest artists, right? These things always are going to come up because it's a very competitive space. Even though it might not happen, would you say, again, the media and the expectations of the fans should be a little bit softened when it comes to the Ghanaian arts? Again, a very generic question, right? Because every artist is different. You think that should happen, possibly?
Well, like, I think...
Or it is what it is.
For me, as an artist, I would want them to take it easy with me. But if I have a favorite out there, yo, bring me the music. That's all I care about.
So it is what it is.
It is what it is. So I'm going to be biased in that way. But wait, like, with what is happening now, well, I think you can actually make your fans hear from you whichever way. And your diehard fans are always going to follow. So even if it's like a freestyle or maybe something, you just drop it for them. But just some fans are not just satisfied with you dropping those things. They want you to drop a collective project. But that is expensive. So sometimes you just have to take it easy and enjoy. Sometimes they don't even stream the ones you've dropped. They'll be asking you for a new one. Like, you're an artist yourself. Imagine you drop a new joint and your fan meets you and they're like, oh, when are you dropping the new one?
I just
if
dropped
I
music.
want you right now because you don't even know what you're talking about. So, like...
I guess there is truth in that we have to deal with these things, you know. These are the experiences that come with the job, you know, and the path we've taken. With the path we've taken, talking on that, you're someone who's leaned very heavily, right? And you're not shied away from the fact that you accept your traditional, you know, background and experiences. And you're very open about these things. We spoke about this, I think, 1.5 years or 2 years ago. Enam is always true to who she is. How has the word, again, from the fans and the audience been? Because being traditional is not necessarily, it's not a bad thing. Being traditional is not a scary thing. I don't know if it's what we've seen on TV, you know, what we've heard, you know, in the stories growing up. But again, we are a traditional people. How has the word been generally from people who have heard that, or again, you talking about your supernatural experiences openly, how has that been, that experience from people who follow you and listen to you?
You know, being traditional is just normal as being a human being. So I don't see traditional to be any big deal, but then what has been made about being traditional is so ridiculous because in some senses, we accept tradition, but in some aspects, we reject tradition. So it's just about being biased, like I was being initially when we were talking about what we want fans to do. So if it comes to a child being moral, respectful, and heeding to the norms and traditions and customs,
that's traditional.
we accept,
that's a tradition we accept.
Tradition. But when it comes to actually honoring our lineage and going back to ancestral worship, or ancestral ways of doing certain things, then we are rejecting or resenting tradition. That is what it's been. So now it's better than it was before because people like me wouldn't come out and be talking about this kind of tradition, which is like ancestral worship or traditional belief, because people frown so much upon it to the point that it's almost like a taboo to actually be practicing traditional belief or traditional ways of doing things like ancestral worship and all of that. So I feel like before I wasn't just so comfortable with it, even talking about it.
So you weren't as open about it?
Or even involved with it. Like I wasn't even involved with it. But that's how I grew up. Growing up and learning so much about me and meeting a lot of people, I learned that you cannot do much. There isn't much you can do when it comes to your formulation, how you came to this world, or how you even appeared as a human being, because everything has been set. We just appeared in it, in your family, in the name you've been given, in the things you do, your abilities, your disabilities. I believe that there are things that you wish you could do, but you cannot do, no matter how hard you try to get it for yourself, because it's not part of how you were made. So when it comes to tradition and all of that, I just feel like whether you accept it or not, when we are categorizing or we are listing tradition and they are people, you will still be associated with whatever you are rejecting, whether you resent it, accept it.
Oh, that's deep.
Since it's tradition that is associated with your race, with your kind, and your formulation, whether you accept it or not, if people are generalizing your people, they will add you up to it.
Have the fans been able to separate the fact that, you know, you put your personal life out there and your growth from the music? And I'm asking that, say, I'm a Christian, right? I have brothers who are Muslim. We have very deep conversations about finances and life and all these things. I respect their religion. They respect my religion. As you're saying, right, your music is your music. You put some of yourself into your music as we'd want our artists to be.
Right.
Have we been able to separate that when it comes to Enam as an artist?
Okay, so some people are able to separate it, but this is a situation where I am pulling people to their true tradition and roots. So I am meeting most of my new fans through this tradition and this ancestral worship because these are the people that they've also been lost in a way and they were trying to find their path. Just exactly how I told my story. They can just relate and they fit in. So when they found me, they are like, okay, this is my person and this is my kind of artist. And over the years, I've had different kinds of music and different types of fan base. And I believe that most of my fan base is open-minded. So they don't really care about what you choose to practice. If it comes to, when it comes to tradition or like your religion or whatever, they accept you for who you are. And then they accept your music because they know that above it all, it is not about what you are practicing, but it's about the kind of person you are and what you show them and what they see. So even if you are practicing this and you are like this kind of cool kid, you are this kind of a person, then it means like I want to roll with this kind of a person. So my fan base is like that. And mind you, like with me, I don't really care about who doesn't like what I do and doesn't want to associate with me. Because I believe that we are kinds and we have our kinds. So you don't have to force yourself with kinds that you don't belong with.
I agree.
It will be a waste of time and a waste of, you know, experience. In 100 years to come, we, our siblings, our family, our kids, whoever, whatever we make in this world will be history. And we will just be remembered not for our names or like how single we are, but we will be categorized as ancestors. You get what I mean?
True,
so if you are over here taking those kind of things personal, it means that you're wasting this life or it's an excursion we've been brought to have fun. You're wasting it. Like all those times you spend worried about the people that don't vibe with you. Come on. Would you stop living because you are not an Indian? No way. You accept yourself as you are and then as you came and you have fun.
Yeah, because, I mean, as you're saying, there are Indians who listen to your music, you know, traditionalists, probably other religions, but you're not a Christian.
No, I am not a Christian.
You're a traditionalist.
I'm a traditionalist.
Okay.
You know, like with me, I've been through all of those. My parents are Christians. And my great-grandmothers, all of us, all the Christians, including you, your great-grandmothers were traditional, ancestral worshippers.
Yeah, probably,
Exactly. So I'm like, well, so thinking about it logically, my parents are Christian, my mom and my dad, they go to church and all of that. I grew up in the shrine. My great-grandmothers that I lived with in the village were traditional and ancestral worshippers. I have grown up, gone out, I've been a Jehovah's Witness, I've been through all of these places, I've sung in the church, I've been part of the choir. Even my first song was manna. It was a biblical connotation that was actually talking about manna raining from heaven. I've been this girl that had always been spiritual. And so growing up and actually growing into spirituality, I just know that the truest thing for me is my ancestral blood. Because if we are doing ancestral worship, because Moses, Jacob, Abraham, all of those are ancestors. I don't know them from anywhere, but I know Diameter. She is my great-grandmother. I know Yaovi Woje. He is my great-grandfather. Should I go on?
I mean, I don't mind.
I know Chevier. I know all of them. And then they are my blood. I can directly link to them. If I call on them and I pray and I pour libation, I am sure that they are my bloodline. I connect with them. genetically. So it makes more sense that I can invoke certain bloods and tap into those blood than Jacob's blood or Abraham's blood or Mephibosheth's blood than Nebuchadnezzar's blood.
She says she's very spiritual,
because,
you know,
like,
so yeah, fact, right?
Exactly. I don't know them.
I do
and
have
I
to
don't
commend
know how
your
they are
openness,
linked
though.
to me. Yes, I don't know how.
How did you get here to this point?
You know,
Were you
ask
just like,
me again.
I'm just like tired, you know?
No, because I saw evidence. And then I don't know why spirits or ancestors hide this kind of knowledge from the masses. And it becomes like a joke or a lie or almost unbelievable when you share it with someone because people may not understand. They may have to go through the experience to be able to grasp what I saw or like what I experienced, you know?
Please share that supernatural experience. Do you care to?
Okay, just a little.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like to go into details. When I organize the retreats, we have more details there. So like with this one, at a point when I was very lost, I was just lost. So I had this gig from US. I was hosting What's Good Africa for Revolt TV, PDD. And I was supposed to interview the artists in Ghana. I interviewed Walasi, Rocky Dawuni, Kidi, Efia, Kokosmo, a couple. And so I met these new people. And we were just talking, we were vibing, and they just loved my vibe as usual. And we were just talking into things. And I just came up with the idea that, yo, I'm tired. Like, I'm just tired with this music thing because in Ghana it's challenging and all that. And I just don't know. I just feel lost. I feel like there is something I'm not doing. And so it makes me feel lost in a way. So there is this man called Turas. He used to host the morning show on Max TV with Baby Dapa. Shout outs to him. Okay. So when I met him, we were with this crew. We were working together. So we became like family. And he was like, let me share a secret with you. If you talk so highly of your great-grandmothers and you used to go to the shrine with them, music started with them and all of that, then I think they are still around. Me, I believe in ancestral worship and all that, even though I go to church and do other things. I think you should pray and call on your ancestors, your great-grandmothers, and tell them to direct you. They should guide you on whatever path you are on. If they feel like you should give up for real, they will tell you. If they feel like you shouldn't, then they will let you know what you need to do. I just took the advice, I went on, and I was like, okay. So I did what he asked me to do. I was laying down, and I heard my great-grandmother sing Weaver into my ear. Dogolo, 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 abala TV ananya, dogolo.
You heard this?
Yes, I heard it. I heard it. So for the first time, I'm like, no, it's a dream. But I was just lying down. I woke up, picked my phone, went to the recording, and I recorded it down, and I went back to sleep.
Oh, so that's how we got that song?
That's how I got that song.
The song we played before this?
Yes. And that wasn't supposed to be on the EP because then I was doing a whole different thing, like a new style, a whole different thing. So even my team were like, oh, what song is that? I'm like, yeah, it's a song that I have been given. I want to try, I want to put it on and see whatever it is because, I mean, ancestors, I was even making a joke out of all of those things. We put a song on there. It even looked like all of the songs on the EP didn't exist. I even had Akwabwa featured on one of the songs on the EP, but it wasn't even, like a whole big deal wasn't made out of it like
that song.
Weaver.
That's interesting.
Exactly.
That is an experience.
And I've seen like a whole lot of other
So is that what led into your new song, Libation? Did any of these experiences
so since that time, my creative process had changed because I've been having the cosmic download of sound. In the shrine, I remember that we used to use music for a whole lot of purposes, like therapeutically. So we used to heal people with music. Depressive people used to come to the shrine. Anxiety, all of those things. They used to do shrine chants and some herbs for them, and they are just relieved, they are healed. You don't have to be put on medication for so long and you would not get healed. Through music, because there are frequencies in sound that are there to serve us in nature because God puts a soundtrack on everything. The Supreme Being, That's why when you walk, you hear your feet. When you even rub your hair, there is sound. If you rub your palms, there is sound.
Everything is connected.
Everything you do is like sound. Watch a movie without movie scoring and see how boring that movie will be. Yeah. So sound has been weaved with us in this timeline and in this kind of realm that we should use sound to do a whole lot of other things apart from entertainment, just the dancing bit and, you know, like having all those other things. We have medicine in music. Music can be used for medicinal purposes, for therapy, for a whole lot of other things. So that is what the new sound is about. So sometimes I can even sing in a certain frequency or language that I don't speak.
So is this what libation is about?
Okay, libation is about the whole process. It's about what's linking with your ancestry and linking with them is about. So that is what we do through libation, because libation is an act of offering wine, water, or food to the ancestral lineage or supernatural deities that are believed to be there to give us support.
We don't have too much time today. It breaks my heart because I want to talk more to you. And I'm sure we're definitely going to talk some more. In reference to that, we're going to get more music this year after the break.
Yes, we will get more
So no more
music
breaks for a while.
Maybe. No more breaks for a while.
Okay, so Libation is the first single this year.
First single.
But you dropped like a chance before this.
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is, what do you want to tell your fans, right? People support you, the new fans you've gained today. What do you want to tell them before we look at this new song, before you leave us today?
I want to tell them that we are Africans, okay? We can't go away from our Africanness. All that we need to do is to just stay true and look for the things that are truly us. With those ones, we won't feel so confused about so many stories. We will understand, because at least you'll be told a history about your own great-grandfather or great-grandmother, and that would be easier to understand. So don't be scared or don't be ashamed to be yourself.
Very interesting. Libation. Guys, enjoy this. I'm sure in the coming weeks and coming months, we're going to see more of this glow, right? Hopefully.
More.
More glow. Guys, enjoy this. We'll be right back.